of the place.
What up, boys and girls? Today I got a frenzy Pindle farm barbarian for you. You might have heard of the Zerk Pindle farm barb, but I bet you've never heard of a frenzy barb, and there's a good fucking reason for that. That's because Pindle can spawn physical immune pretty often. So you're like, why would you make this build? And you'll see in a minute why, because of the weapons that I have for this. And I literally just decided to make this build because of these weapons that I found. I thought it was crazy that I found them. I was like, okay, I gotta make a build with these. So I'll just show you what those are real quick before we even get into the build. It's the vile Husk. And I know this isn't very budget. This is like the most expensive thing on this build is probably the Zods. And upping these. But yeah, I found this. And I was like, dude, you can make a pretty good undead farmer with these swords since they're eth, and I got 3% away from perfect enhanced damage on that, so. And then literally not even a week later, I swear to God, I'm not making this up, I found another eth vile Husk. That was before I upped and zotted this one. That's why I made this. I was like, okay, well now I have to make a build. Because this one's only 8% from perfect, and it's ethereal. I was like, what? So I had to make a build based on these then. It was like, life gave me lemons. Make a shitty lemonade. A shitty budget lemonade that kind of works. Yeah, with these lemons here. I had to up them because they spawn exceptional. So I upped them to elite, popped a Zod in them, and they actually do pretty decent damage, especially against undead, obviously. And that amp damage, that's why we can Pindle farm with this guy. Because the amp damage gets rid of the physical immune. Wait for that to proc. Game over for Pindle, you know what I mean? So before I show you all the gear though, which you can probably already see what I got by that, but I'm going to go straight into the stats first. And this is my the more budget version of this. As you can see, my strength's really high. I'll show you a more expensive version a little later. But I mean, it works. Yeah, my res is terrible, but you don't really need res against Pindle. I got a lot of vitality, nothing in dexterity. I put a lot of strength in to equip everything, and then some, a little bit more just for more damage, just to have it. Alright, the tree. I just went one into battle orders. On Switch I got Warcry sticks. So I just went one into battle orders because I wanted to do the 2.4 find potion, find item combination that is amazing. It's godly. I kind of fucked up here. I should have maxed find potion. I'm going to need a token to fix that. Because I need to max find potion before find item, and I'll get a little bit more chance. But yeah, that's what I got right now. Eventually I'm going to put more into find potion. You should probably do that. Max this out, because find item is insane. And that's where we're going to get most of our magic stuff is from horking with our hork sticks, which have ists in them. You'll see in a minute. Didn't max Blade Mastery either. I got it to like 15 or something, I want to say. And then 1 point wonders here. And then I did max Frenzy and Double Swing, because you got to be able to kill stuff, right? And you can see I didn't put any into Berserk. I don't care about the 1% magic damage. Not really worth it for the points, I think. So that's that. Let's look at the gear. Swap back to the Vile Husks. I went with a 3-piece IK here because it's cheap. You get some magic fine. There's just good shit on it. Life, combat skills, magic fine, you know. It's budget. and it works. I like it. And then for the amulet, I decided to go Optimus Scarab. You could go High Lords here for that attack speed. You'll see where we get the attack speed in a second. But I love the amplified damage proc. And you might think, like, okay, since I got +6 or 6% chance on these two things, that I have 12% just with the weapons every time I hit, but that's not how it works. When you hit with this weapon, you get the 6% from that, and then when you hit with this weapon, you get the 6% from that. It only counts if you're swinging with that weapon, and you make contact with that weapon. So I like to have that little extra 5, so every time I swing, it's actually an 11% chance if I hit to proc the amp. And then for my attack speed, that all comes from this, the Treachery. Super great melee armor. I mean, it's underrated. It's really nice. I did it in ancient armor just because it looks cool. Yeah, really all you want from here is the attack speed. And you get Fade Strike if that happens, or Fade Proc if that happens, that's cool. Venom Proc's also really cool, and that always happens. And then rings, not too great budget stuff here, just a mana leech ring. You could go dual leech ring here. You could probably even go another Naggle and you'd be alright. You know, just might have to use mana potions every once in a while when he's mana burn. And then a 30 Naggle. And then Drax, just to help with that survivability. And you might be saying, whoa, isn't that going to override your amp curse? And yeah, it does. It does. They override each other. And I'll be honest, it can be a little annoying sometimes when you have a physical immune Pindle and you're sitting there swinging at him and you'll proc amp and hit him a couple times and then you proc life tap. So you just do a couple swings and then fucking life tap procs and you're not doing any damage anymore. So that's a little annoying, but yeah, the life tap is still really useful. It helps with the survivability because, you know, Frenzy Barb, you don't have a shield. Frenzy Barbs are always a little squishy. This guy's a little squishy, not gonna lie. But it's still fun, you know, it's not the Zerker, it's not a cookie cutter, magic find, super badass build, but it works. And, you know, the life tab, you don't necessarily have to have it, I guess you could swap it out. But it is really nice when that procs, and it comes in clutch sometimes when they hit really hard. If you got like a hard hitting Pindle and they hit you once and you're like almost dead, and then life tap procs and you're full health again, it's really nice. Yeah. And I just like this. It's like a nice little alternative to the Zerker Pindle. And yeah, you're going to have a hard time getting these. I got really lucky. That's the whole reason this build is happening, because I like to turn shitty items into builds. So there's that. Let's look at the inventory. We got a Barb Torch, of course. I don't have an Annie on him. I will eventually get one of those since they're much easier to come by, but don't really need it right now. And then just a lot of magic find charms. Some attack rating charms, because I got a big attack rating charm here. Just because you wanna hit stuff. I mean, this guy wrecks Pindle, because fucking all that undead damage. And even in the stash, I even have ghoul hides. You could go ghoul hides here because they have the same mod as the Vile Husk with the undead damage to undead based on character level. It's not as high, but it's cool. It's just a cool thing to run. But here we'll go kill Pindle real quick. You can just see how it goes. Oh, Switch. I gotta say Switch really quick. This is what I got on Switch. These were actually really cheap because you can get 2 sockets in these. And when they rolled them with Lazurk, they got 1 socket, so they're like, ew, trash, and pretty much game away. So yeah, you might say Ist isn't budget, but Ist is so easy to get. Oh, the helmet, I do have a Sham in there. It's also very expensive. And Sham is really important for this build, unfortunately. Because you don't want to run Raven. Because with a Raven Frost, you get the Cannot Be Frozen, but it has cold damage on it. So you have a chance to kill or pop a body and not be able to hork it. So you don't want any cold damage, which actually I gotta change out the Merc's weapon because I'm using Obedience, which has fucking cold damage on it. But I'm gonna swap that out. That's not a big deal. I mean, I don't even really use it. I was actually running the Frenzy Barb Merc, and he was badass. He was kicking ass. But I was running it with a Grief. He had a Grief and like a Fool's Weapon. And I didn't want to run him in this because I don't think Grief's really that budget. And everybody, I don't like Grief that much. Yeah, it's everywhere. So, okay, let's run in here. Let's hop in here. And you can run by, hork a couple bodies on the way, why not? Yeah. I don't know what they drop. Nothing. And as you can see, they drop down pretty quick. And with that life tap, see the life tap is too nice. I mean, I had amp procs there for a second, that's why they went down really quick at first. But that life tap, you saw my health going down and shot right back up with life taps, which is it's nice. I don't like having to worry too much about potions with this squishy guy. Garbage. I mean, I don't even really care about these. This is all trash. If this is Eth, I'll look at it. Nope. I'll look at the battle staff, even though it's always trash. Yeah, trash. That's the lower budget. I'm gonna set up real quick and I'll show you the higher budget build, which honestly isn't that much better, but it just has more magic find. So alright, so here is the less budget setup, and literally all the changes is I'm wearing an Enigma, the greatest item in the game, and I switched out my Merc and got Heather here. Threw on my Faith Grand Matron Bow. That'll give me my attack speed that I need. And she's just badass. Oh, and a lot of attack rating also. So let's hop in here and I'll show you how this says real quick. It's about the same speed, honestly. Let's teleport in now because you got the Enigma. Look like a boss. Yeah, you saw how that life tab came in clutch there, didn't you? It does that all the time, that's why I didn't use a potion. Some wormhide boots. Dual res 23 magic find. Run speed 4 dex. Those aren't terrible, but this isn't ladder, so sorry. Yeah, this is not ladder, by the way. But I'm gonna be hopping on my ladder character right after this. Yeah, actually, like right now, because that's the end of the video, guys. That's the build. Get out there and be somebody. Find you some Eth-file husks.